When I was first meditating on this gospel, the person that came immediately to my mind was my cousin Joan, whom I loved very much. I think by anyone's standards, Joan was an exceptionally beautiful woman. She was a few years older than I. We grew up in Brooklyn, and I think Joan was, well, maybe didn't want to be known to have come from Brooklyn. She would practice her diction and her poise and do everything that she could, I think, to become maybe a Manhattan, Upper West Side kind of person. She was a very, very smart woman. She was the first in our family who was able to go through college, and although I never saw her report card, I'm sure that she did very, very well. She drove an MG sports car, dated a lifeguard. She was a very gifted woman. She was the kind of person, I think, that could touch anything in her life, and it would kind of turn to gold. And to be honest with you, sometimes we used to call her the princess. I think because, or at least for me, I could say, I was a little bit jealous of her success. Well, Joan decided to build a chalet, a ski lodge up in Hunter Mountain, and a guy next door to her was also building a house for himself, and they met, and well, they decided that they really only needed one house, and I was a priest, and I witnessed their marriage. Well, it was only a few weeks after that Joan was driving her car in a blinding snowstorm up there in the mountains, and she was sighted by a truck. It was a terrible, terrible accident, and Joan was in a coma for nearly a month. When she got out of that, she was horribly disfigured, I guess, and unable to remember Fred, unable to remember anything. But you know what? Inside of Joan came out an exceptionally strong, gentle, almost a beatific person. You could see in her smile the face of God. She lost everything, her looks, her intelligence, her ability to remember, and yet inside there was such a beauty. When I read this gospel, it kind of freaks you out, this gospel. If your eye causes you to sin, pluck it out, your hand, your feet. Well, what does that mean? What it really means is that sometimes when we lose things, we may find an inner beauty and a depth to us that we never knew we had. So our ways of seeing sometimes, or the things that we hold on to so tight, or the places that we think we have to go in order to be successful or happy or fulfilled, are the very things that Jesus may be gently inviting us to let go, so that our wounds can become our wisdom, and our tears can become our tenderness, and the very things that we thought tied us down and bound us up are the very same things that free us. So when Christ knocks today, even in the midst of our losses, let us welcome him, because he will show us himself in a way we never saw him before. Amen.